Imagine that one sleepless night could change your life forever. You wake up and realize you can't remember anything, your energy is gone, and even simple tasks feel impossible. This happened to Emma. She works 10 to 12 hours a day, thinking she can postpone sleep, but her body and brain say otherwise. She starts forgetting simple things, gets lost in paperwork, irritates her colleagues, and even her favorite coffee no longer helps. On weekends, she tries to catch up on sleep, sleeping 10-12 hours, but the exhaustion remains. Why? Because sleep is not just rest, it's a fundamental need without which your brain doesn't function, emotions spiral out of control, and your body becomes vulnerable to illness. Lack of sleep increases the risk of heart problems, obesity, stress, and even depression. Modern life with constant notifications, work, and social media makes us sleep less than we need. Most people think, I can fix it with coffee or a weekend, but that's a trap. Sleep restores the brain, recharges energy, strengthens health, and even makes us happier. Emma gradually changes her routine, turns off devices before bed, and within a week feels her brain working faster, emotions stabilizing, and productivity rising. In this video, you will discover how sleep really controls your life, why even a little sleep deprivation can ruin everything, and what you can do to avoid this trap. So, stay until the end, because I'm going to reveal the truth about sleep that most people ignore, and it could change your life forever. Have you ever noticed how a small lack of sleep can ruin an entire day? This happened to John. He would wake up 30 minutes later than planned, skip breakfast, and rush to work. At first, he thought it wasn't a big deal, but after a few weeks, he noticed that his mind was working slower. Concentration dropped, and decisions that used to be easy now required huge effort. John started getting annoyed with colleagues, arguing over small things with his family, and his overall well-being steadily declined. Sleep is not just rest for the brain, it's the moment when the body restores cells, balances hormones, and strengthens memory. When John ignored sleep, he not only lost productivity, but his health began to suffer. Constant fatigue, headaches, skin problems. Many people think they can overwork themselves without consequences, but that's a myth. Sleep deprivation creates a snowball effect. First fatigue, then irritability, then stress, and in the long term, chronic heart issues, metabolism problems, and even psychological disorders. It's important to understand that sleep is the time when the brain sorts information, clears toxins, and restores energy. Imagine working every day without rebooting your computer. Sooner or later, it will freeze. That's what happens to our brain. John finally decided to change his routine. He went to bed at the same time every night, avoided late-night snacks and screens before sleep. Within a week, he felt his mind clearing, energy rising, and stress decreasing. Sleep is not just rest, it's a way to control your life, preserve health, and be effective in everything. Even 30 minutes of lost sleep can become the start of a big problem if you don't pay attention. Have you ever felt like the whole world is moving faster than you and you just can't keep up? That's exactly what happened to Emily. She works as a manager in a big company, always trying to stay on top, handling dozens of tasks every day, but her most important asset, sleep, she ignores. Every morning she wakes up exhausted, rushes to meetings, forgets simple details, and even her colleagues start noticing that she's becoming irritable and inattentive. Emily tries to fix the situation with coffee and energy drinks, but it's only a temporary illusion of energy. When a person is sleep deprived, the brain starts working with reduced resources. Memory declines, concentration suffers, emotional control is lost. But the consequences of sleep deprivation aren't only about the brain. Emily starts experiencing frequent headaches, her skin loses elasticity, immunity drops, and even minor infections last longer than usual. Imagine your body receiving less fuel every day than it needs while trying to complete the same tasks. Your body and brain are pushed to the limit, accumulating stress and fatigue. Emily notices her relationships with friends and family worsening. She becomes irritable, easily exhausted, and even simple conversations feel challenging. It's no wonder sleep regulates stress hormones, serotonin, and dopamine production, and lack of sleep disrupts their balance. Modern people think they can juggle work, study, social life, and sleep, but the body cannot be fooled. Emily decides to change her routine. She starts going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, reduces screen time before bed, avoids heavy dinners, and says no to work after 9 p.m. Within a few weeks, her life changes dramatically. Clarity of mind returns, concentration improves, stress decreases, and energy finally allows her to enjoy the little pleasures in life. This proves once again that sleep is not a luxury, but a tool that governs our life, health, and happiness. And even if it seems like one sleepless night won't matter, in reality, it's the start of a chain of problems that can affect work, relationships, and physical health. Emily now understands that sleep is the foundation on which success, productivity, and mental well-being are built. Have you ever noticed how small habits can completely change your life, and even one night without proper sleep can destroy everything you've been building for a long time? This happened to Mike. He is a programmer who always considered himself productive and thought he could juggle work, study, and life without proper sleep. Mike often worked late into the night, stayed on his laptop after dinner, thought that one more episode before bed wouldn't hurt, and that a cup of coffee would save him. At first, it seemed harmless, but gradually he started feeling unexplained fatigue that even several hours of sleep on the weekend couldn't fix. His brain stopped working like before. He forgot things he had just read, mixed up terms at work, mistakes became more frequent, and deadlines constantly slipped. Colleagues began noticing that Mike was irritable and inattentive, and friends complained that he couldn't hold a normal conversation. But the consequences of sleep deprivation don't stop at work or social life. Mike noticed his physical health deteriorating: constant headaches, muscle weakness, reduced immunity, and skin problems. Scientifically, chronic sleep deprivation changes hormone function, increases cortisol, the stress hormone, disrupts melatonin production, and affects heart, blood vessels, and metabolism. Mike realized that an ordinary night without sleep is not just a loss of energy for tomorrow, it's a snowball effect that gradually destroys health and quality of life. He began changing his routine, avoided late-night snacks and caffeine after 5 p.m., turned off all screens an hour before sleep, went to bed and woke up at the same time, and practiced light stretching and meditation before bed. Within weeks, Mike noticed significant changes. His mind worked faster, emotions stabilized, physical health improved, and work productivity increased. Sleep helped him restore balance in his life, and most importantly, he regained the ability to enjoy simple things: evening walks, meeting friends, family dinners. Sleep turned out to be not a luxury, but the foundation of a successful, healthy, and happy life. Imagine that even just 1 week of consistent sleep deprivation can change your life forever. This is what Sarah realized, a young marketer who always strives to be the best in her team. She constantly worked overtime, postponed sleep for projects, social media, and meetings with friends. At first, Sarah only felt mild fatigue, but after a few days, she noticed her concentration dropping, emotions becoming unstable, and simple tasks that used to take minutes now seemed impossible. Colleagues began noticing that she missed deadlines, responded sharply, and friends complained that Sarah often checked out during conversations or forgot plans. Sleep is not just rest. It is the key to brain function, hormonal balance, immune system recovery, and emotional well-being. Sarah noticed her body suffering too: constant headaches, muscle stiffness, skin problems, frequent colds. Scientists have proven that chronic sleep deprivation changes brain function. Creativity decreases, memory becomes unreliable, decision-making slows. Sleep deprivation creates a domino effect. Stress accumulates, emotions spiral out of control, and productivity drops. Sarah decided to take action. She established a routine of going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, turned off phones and laptops an hour before bed, practiced meditation and light stretching. Within weeks, she noticed energy returning, her mind working more clearly, stress decreasing, and relationships with colleagues and friends improving. Sleep helped restore balance in her life and showed that without it, Being happy, productive, and healthy is impossible. Each of us might think, I don't have time to sleep now, or one night won't matter, but the consequences accumulate. Sleep is not a luxury, it is the foundation of your success, energy, relationships, and health. If you want to be more productive, happy, and healthy, make time for sleep every day, value it deeply, and don't neglect it. Remember, even one good night of sleep can change your day, and regular sleep can change your entire life. If you learned something new about the importance of sleep and want more tips, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. Let's learn to live better, fuller, and happier together.